We're now live, direct, New York City. There it is. If you zoom in enough, you can see all the Santas and all that. People shopping for Christmas presents, lining up to see the tree. Yeah, you gotta really zoom though. We got something a little bit closer to the vest, so to speak. This was supposed to come out a few weeks ago. Got a little delayed in production, but it's here now. It'll be available at 1 o'clock. Acottondown 45 cowl vests. And then we also got something new. A little bit risky, or maybe extremely risky. This is the Dreamweight Disintegrators. Tyler's got them on. How do they feel?
Amazing.
All right.
Like a dream.
Like a dream. Like a dream. You know, dreams don't last.
Well, this one's on me right now for the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's, there it is, right? You know, dreams don't last, but we made a product that's incredibly beautiful. It was so nice that we had to put it out, even though it doesn't last. It will disintegrate. It'll fall apart on your ass while you're wearing it. Don't buy it. It's a risky experiment, but goddamn, it feels nice. We'll get into details. We'll probably start with the Acottondown, I guess. The big one.
I should go get the materials.
I mean, we've done the materials before. If we want to, I guess it can't hurt too much. People are going to want to see this on you, but can I discuss it? I'll talk about the disintegrators later. We're asking how they wear and whatnot. They're just a little fragile. The cowl vest. Well, I'm wearing it. Right now I have it under, this is actually the sample from last year, the equivalent of this year's size XL, when we made these samples of actually size slightly different. And yeah, here, Tyler's got the juice here now. We can break it down. That's the 80 though, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
So technically, yeah, it's a prop. The prop is technically a little thicker than what goes into the vest. But yeah, this is Acottondown. We talked a little bit more, but we love this stuff, so we're going to talk about it more. So again, like this is the slightly thicker version than what goes into this vest, but Acottondown is this material here, thin down. It's two components, two Italian components. Thin down is what they call the world's first cotton fabric. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, I think, to call it fabric, but it's cuttable. You can see it's Tyler's tearing it apart. It's lots of down feathers, mostly goose with a little bit of duck. The whole, setup is 80% down, and that down is 100% post-consumer recycled. So this is taken from old down jackets and bedding, pillows, and whatnot. And then it's combined with 20% PLA, which is polylactic acid, which is a plant plastic, right? It's a 100% bioplastic that binds it all together into a batting. So traditional down is just floating freely everywhere, and it's super fine and it's fractal, right? Like it's got all the little branching pieces of the feather. You can sort of see it there. Yeah, so there you can see and that creates all these pockets that trap air, and that makes down the best insulator for its weight. It traps the most air for its weight. That fractalness and the microness of it all creates all the space that traps air close to your body, insulates, right? It's super nice. The trade-off, right, and where Acottondown, the whole journey came from, is that when you have the loose down in there, right, it tends to migrate. It wants to go through the fabric, right? Most fabrics have holes in it. When you weave it or knit it, there's gaps in between the yarns, and the down goes right through them. And so down in itself is amazing, but it needs to be encapsulated generally in a traditional use in a downproof fabric, right? So, and the downproof fabric is kind of what fights with the down. This is not a downproof fabric here. This is 100% cotton. We call it acris cotton. We'll get into it in a minute, right? But there are some random down things over there, but I don't know if Tyler can track one down. We can show you. But downproof fabric, historically, what makes most downproof fabric is that it's usually nylon, sometimes poly, and it's super fine. It's great, but it's also cowlerized, which is essentially a process of putting a hot roller over it. And so when you cowlerize it, this is a downproof fabric. I don't know if that side's downproof. This side's definitely downproof. It doesn't actually have down in there, but this is a Capital product, downproof fabric. See that sheen? This fabric's basically, you can see the weave structure, but then it's been cowlerized, so it like kind of melts it together slightly. Not 100%. It's not fully, it's not melted into a sheet. There's still tiny, tiny gaps there, but mostly melts it. And it, what that does is hold in all the down, or any loose fill, right? It could be a loose poly fill too. And so what happens with traditional down is that you have this really dense, light, but really dense fabric that holds it down in, and it doesn't breathe very well. And it's also, it's melted nylon usually. It also tends to be very reflective. It reflects heat back at you, and that creates a feedback loop where down can trap all your warmth, and then you start to overheat. It's like holding it in. And we were like, oh, can we make down more breathable, right? Can we make it softer? Can we make it a little more natural, better hand feel? And so we were like, maybe the thin down. Like, thin down is rated to use with downproof fabrics, but we're like, what happens when you use thin down with something that's not necessarily downproof, but still quite dense? And then that's where we tracked down. We talked to different suppliers, and Albini has this fabric. They call it Piamino. We call it A-Crisp Cotton. This is a fabric they developed recently in the last decade or so. They create, Albini's like very vertical. Like, they spec a lot of their own cottons. This is a Albini spec cotton called Giza 87. Egyptian cotton, extra long staple Egyptian cotton, grown to Albini specs, and then they spin it into two different yarns, including 120 single. Right, some of this is 100 single. The higher the number, the finer it is. So 120 single is basically a yarn that never really existed before, except for in like very niche applications.
It looks
probably
like silk. It's so small.
Yeah, so it's incredibly fine yarn. And it allows them to make a very, very dense, like a high definition fabric, essentially. They developed this to make like really, really sharp striped shirts and stuff. Like, it's literally, they make this, like, so they can make like the stripes and the patterns that you put into shirts like really, really crisp, because the parts are so fine. But it's super durable, it's tough, it wears really well, and it's got an incredible like soft hand feel, and it's the right combination of down resistance and breathability to make something incredibly comfortable. And combine these two. There's also a scrim on here that helps, right? So there's the batting, the down batting, and then there's a scrim, polylactic acid scrim, and that holds it all in. And we found it works super well. Like, there's like every once in a while there'll be like, there's always migration with down. This is probably actually from us like moving the thin down around. I can't guarantee you there's 0 migration, but there's extremely little. So the one I'm wearing, again, I've had since, we made this probably the middle of last winter, so close to a year. I obviously didn't wear it that much in the summer, but I wore it, all the rest of the winter, and then into the spring, and then started, as soon as it started getting cold, grabbed it again this winter. And so, oh man, people saying it sounds like wind on the mic. I can't find the wind. I lost the wind. No, I literally lost the wind guard. It's somewhere in this room. Okay. We could unplug the mic. Yeah, like
it's fine if you're just talking. It'll be fine.
No, I think it's like when it's close to the window, and then literally like that big foam thing is supposed to block wind.
Up your voice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's when I get close to the window. All right. Let's talk about this product. So again, so what you see here is thin down, recycled thin down, 80. They may have non-recycled stuff too. So we use a thinner one in here, 45, right? Because this is like a close to the body application. You can see right now I'm wearing it over this shirt, but I often wear it under here. I'll swap. Come on, here, swap the camera.
Whoops. Wait. Hey everyone.
Tyler. But yeah, I often especially if I have if I'm wearing right now I have a short sleeve tee, but if I have a long sleeve tee, I really enjoy just doing this under. And the closer the down is to your body, like the better it works, right? Because it's all about capturing your body heat. So I often wear it like this, and you can see I'll put the flannel back over it, and you'll actually this like the sequencing matters in this kind of thing. So I will actually be slightly warmer sequencing it this way versus the way I had before, because down is closer to the body.
Is this warmer than the ribback vest?
I don't have any experience with the ribback vest.
I do.
So yes, it is warmer because the ribback vest is not insulated in the back,
Yeah.
but it's very little difference.
And there's also neck protection. So they're very different constructions. The ribback vest technically has the 80 in it, or it's supposed to at least.
How's it compare to the Alpha insulation?
How does it compare to
Yeah,
Alpha? Yeah, I'll talk on Alpha. They're very, very different. And how's it go? I mean, it's warmer per weight, right? But it just feels different. It's very different. Like the big thing is that like you end up feeling the cotton with this one. They have not the same dry list, but they both, I don't know, they hit like similar but different zones. Like there's something we've been struggling with actually, like in developing this product, is like there's not enough words. Like the English language doesn't have a very sophisticated vocabulary for talking about the quality of warmth, right? You can talk about quantity of warmth all day, hot versus cool versus warm, right? And you know, put numbers to it even. But there's only a few adjectives that describe it, and there's very little like sophistication in like types of warmth. So they deliver very different types of warmth. I think Thin Down's a little warmer, I think, overall, especially like weight to weight. It definitely is warmer. But it has this like very like soft, dry warmth. Whereas like the Alpha setup, especially with the merino on the inside, the way we use it, the Alpha is it's softer just because it's merino. It's knit merino, right? It's like a kind of softer, but it also drapes a little bit. So I don't know. It's very subtle. And then again, like weight for weight, like you got to compare the weights, right? And then, you know, like Thin Down makes some very exaggerated claims about like weight, like according to them, it's like going to be like 4 times warmer weight per weight than the Thin Down than the Alpha. I don't think that's true, but it's definitely warmer. I don't even know if it's twice, but it's maybe 1.5 twice. Right now, like the styles are pretty different, so I think the easiest thing to do is base it off like what style you want to do. At some point, we'll be able to like pinpoint and like do things head to head and like get it closer together. But like, you know, there's, unless you're buying old Alpha Core vests, right? Like this, you can only get this in the Thin Down. It's also much lighter. I mean, I guess that's a good comparison, right? Like the whole structure, like the biggest difference actually in this whole setup is actually maybe in the cotton part rather than the down part. When you're talking about insulation, there's definitely warmth differences, and the Thin Down is going to behave similarly to wool in a way. Like these protein-based, they're both protein-based, and they both absorb a lot of water vapor. They're both very dry, right? So, but the cotton side is very dramatically different than what we use in the Alpha, right? So the cotton's really like, I think the hugest difference here. It's a woven, and it's half the weight of like the knits that we're putting on the inside of the Alpha stuff. So it's much lighter. So when you compare this vest here, right? This vest is based off of the Goswick Alpha Core vest, and we did it without just a regular Alpha Core without Goswick. Exact same pattern, it's scaled differently, but that form and shape, you know, exists differently. And this is dramatically lighter, and it also doesn't, like, you know, it's much much more structured because it's woven. So it's really like a structural issue and difference. All right. Any other products planned with Thin Down? Not for this. Well, this year. This is the last product for the year. Close that window for now. And so definitely not this year, and next year probably not until the fall. How do you clean it? It's rated as spot clean only, I think. There is one here we can show you. Willie washed one, and it's interesting. Like, we haven't really pushed it in this direction, right? It's like we're still developing, experimenting. But Willie washed one last night. You can see maybe a feather came out, and it kind of puffed up more than the original, so it might actually get warmer. But it washed up surprisingly well. I wouldn't say perfectly. It's still rated not to wash, so wash at your own risk. These are outerwear pieces. You don't need to wash them. Just spot clean, sponge clean. So the Goswick vest, same form that Cowl vest. Yeah, they are the same form. What's interesting about it? Yeah, Tyler, I want to break it in. You're putting it over a hoodie?
Yeah.
That's not designed for that.
That's how I wear it.
Okay, well that's how Tyler wears it. So you must size up. All right, well we'll see what Tyler does. Sizing's interesting. There's a lot of variability here. Yeah, this is based off the Goswick Alpha Core vest, and then it's scaled up 2 sizes actually from that, and we recommend going the same size as you would do, even though the scaling really is accounting for the lack of stretch and how they sew up. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Anyway. Yeah, medium is, you're going the wrong way. Yeah. All right, Tyler's going to put on a medium. Tyler wears it over a hoodie, huh?
I wear it over stuff.
So here's Tyler going true to size and putting it over a hoodie.
But I'll put it on both ways.
Yeah. I personally, I like to, there's, we haven't gotten to all the details, but there's 2 snap adjustments at the top. So Tyler's got the bottom snap there. And then, so you usually just use the first adjust, huh? Yeah. And so that works, true to size. And true to size gives you the most versatility, right? And layering up and down. But it's going to be hard for you to do it tighter, I would think, with the hood up.
Well, with a hoodie, yeah. But if I was wearing something else.
Yeah. So that's this is sort of hitting the limits, right? So if you want to do what Tyler's trying to do and get us a tighter one, it's going to be pretty awkward. But it did work. But you might want to go larger if you're going to try and pull this off. But let's show it.
I can take the hoodie off and just show it. That way. And then
yeah. But I personally recommend this one much closer to the body. It's only 45, right? It's not a ton of down in here. Down is great for its weight, but when you get really light, it's not gonna, And here's true to size. And if you're wearing it with just a t-shirt underneath, there's a huge amount of size variability. If that's your only use case, you could size down quite a bit, actually. And then this will let you, right? So that's the sort of cowl out that Tyler's got there. And then if you want to show the tightening, and this is how I pretty much always wear it. And then...
Actually, just leave it. I'll leave it with the cowl.
Oh, all right. And then... Here, let's put you in all the way down to 2 sides. Go 2 sizes down like this.
Yeah, one spin.
Yeah. So let's do the spin.
2-way.
Yeah, it's got a 2-way zip. I think due to part of the production chaos, I think it's size large and double XL have left pull zips, and everything else is right pull zips. Yeah. We can't confirm that at the fact that they got
extra
those.
small?
Yeah, this is Tyler going down 2 sizes. I can wear this extra small without it. We only recommend the sizing down if you don't plan to wear it over anything except for a t-shirt. So you can see it's a vest, right? So there's no shoulder issues, there's no arm issues. So you can size down quite a bit if you want to do this. But there's no way this would go over that hoodie the way you saw the medium.
No, and it's starting to feel a little.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're only wearing it with one layer underneath, thin layer underneath, you can size down, no problem. But if you want to wear something on top of it, wear it on top of something. I sometimes wear it on top of shirts, t-shirt plus I had it on earlier on top of the, right now I have it under the Boxford, but I had it on top before. True to size is great for that. If you're always going to be going like on top of things, like putting it far out away from the body, then maybe even sizing up. But true to size is going to be the most versatility. And again, like the further away from the body, the less the down is doing, and there's not a huge amount of down in here. So I personally think like the sweet spot for this is like 1 layer or 2 layers out, and with that second layer not being that thick. But Tyler likes to put on top of hoodies, so everybody might be different.
This is a large.
Yeah. So now here's Tyler sizing up.
Large washed.
Oh yeah, washed.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is we haven't done much wash testing on this, but it washed up pretty well, and it did fluff up a little bit,
It
which
fluff up. Yeah, it feels actually pretty good.
which might make it warmer. So at your own risk. Can the cowl be tucked inside? No, but here, unzip it. Let me show people something. People ask if the cowl, just unzip it. People ask if the cowl can be tucked inside. I mean, you could try, but we've never done it. But Tyler, you wear it like that?
No.
No, you said you do it with the open.
I just have it like this.
Oh, like that,
This
yeah.
is how I wear it all the time.
Okay, that way, yeah.
I ride a bike, and I've been riding with it all last winter. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So open it up. Let me show people how. Like the one thing I do that like this is very good taste. All the way up. All the way open. And then take the top snap and attach it to the bottom snap. So I did like when I start getting hot in it. Sometimes I do this. Like so. This is like my tuck away, and it's quite comfortable. Like it really does make change the
You wanna
dimension. Sure.
Yeah, better.
I mean, so like if I'm getting hot in this and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to take it off yet, like this is what I do. Right? So just unzip, and then like there, you get like much more air around the neck this way, and boom.
Cool.
Let's take them through the details on the product. Then we can get into the disintegrators. So, let's make some space. Get this out of the way. And so it's a pretty straightforward product. You sort of saw most of it in action. It's got 2 frock pockets here. The insulation is only on the outside. There's like no insulation on the inside there. So it's the same weight of insulation everywhere here essentially. So it's like pretty nice cozy pocket, hand pocket. And then you have the snaps set up, which you saw Taylor using. There's 3 snaps. 3 male snaps, 2 female snaps, and so like that one really only. Maybe you could put it on the top, right? There's 0 snaps, and then this one again, like kind of can go to all 3, but that's tight, that's loose, and then you got your zipper, 2-way zipper, reary, nice 2-way with the plastic tooth, and again, some of them seem to be like. We haven't been able to. We caught it after things went to the warehouse, but some of them seem to be left pull. Most of them are right pull. So a little bit of chaos there. And there you have it. Acottondown, 45 cowl vest. The back is very clean, simple. Obviously the shoulders, And again, true to size is going to give you the most versatile fit that can like go over a t-shirt and also go over like a button up if you want. Maybe even over a hoodie. If you only want to wear it on top of a t-shirt or base layer, then you can size down a little bit. Basically, you can as tight as you can possibly get, like the warmer you'll get. And if you only want to wear it on top of like a bulky hoodie or something, you can consider sizing up. But true to size is going to give you the most versatility. You put on true to size again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Medium.
So here's Tyler back in true to size. You can see that. People are saying it looks best on you.
Medium. Yeah.
I'm wearing a true to size Boxford. Why the rear zipper? I don't know exactly, but it's a nice 2-way zipper. So I don't know why we picked this one exactly. We'll have to speak to it. There's no drop pocket, and that that's mostly just because it's evolved from the Alpha Core, which I used to knit, and knits just don't hold pockets very well. So like we really only design it for hand use, not for carry use, because knits don't carry well. So if this does well and we keep on thinking on it, we can add stuff in. Accella are really better. I mean, that's like going to war. This is a plastic tooth zipper, so Accellas don't only are metal, right? So like it's only relevant in metal. And in the end of the day, like Accella is YKK's high-end metal, and there's different levels of polish in metal. And so basically with any of these companies, like the Accellas are nicer than the YKK metals, and so are the Riris, right? And they're in the same zone. We tend to be using Accellas a lot lately, but they're pretty close. But you can get an extra polished Riri. You just spend more money, right? The polishing, like at the high-end zippers, the polishing is hand polished, every single tooth, right? And so the price just keeps jacking up and jacking up. So like the high-end Riris and the Lampos, like that are super polished, they're super smooth out the gate. They cost tons of money, right? So those things mostly end up on like really expensive handbags and stuff. And they're super nice, and they're all good. That the pull is another thing to think about, but pretty much all those high-end metal zippers are good. And then you got to pick your polish level and like what pull you want. There's a plastic tooth, YKK Riri, pretty similar in that regard. These pulls are really nice. I love these pulls, but Willie's the one who made the choice in the zipper, so I'm not sure why it was chosen. What is left and right pull? It's what hand you when you insert. So it's basically like the
Left pin
yeah.
insert.
Oh, sorry, you're not. The camera not facing. Yeah. So
Yeah, so left. Goes by left hand, left pin insert.
yeah. So he's putting in with his left hand and pulling with his right hand, right? And so that's the American style for menswear. And in Europe, they use right insert, left pull for everything, and that's why it gets screwed up so often, because like a lot of places just default to the left pull.
Yeah, okay.
We pick, so this is the
right
large.
pin.
Yeah. So this one's flipped. What other shapes do we think will work for Acottondown?
My left hand.
I mean, there's a lot. We're still just opening up the space and exploring, right? So we've only done one with sleeves so far, right? The vests are much easier, obviously, because there's way less mobility issues. So we're opening it up. Lots of shapes possible, though. We'll see. Should we talk disintegrators? I'm going to see if there are more questions. And then disintegrators. Where do they... Tyler's wearing the disintegrators. Let's talk about them. People are asking about the durability. They're gonna fucking disintegrate. It's just it. Like there's no getting around it.
Dreams don't last.
Yeah, dreams. You're gonna wake up. It feels like a dream, and then you wake up. That's how it is. Dreamweight, right? So this is a beautiful fabric. It's not. We didn't develop it, but we redeveloped it essentially. Like our original place that developed it said they don't want to make it anymore. It was too hard, and so we had to go find somebody else who would make it for us. 110 GSM, 16.5 micron merino. So really beautiful, soft merino, and an incredibly fine yarn. It's 100 singles, right? So we're talking here. This uses 100 singles and 120 singles. The higher the number, the lower. But it's cotton, which is, and this is wool. Yeah, also woven in knit, so they're very different. But the yarn themselves, the yarn size, is very comparable. So 100 singles is basically the finest yarn you can get. Like there may be somewhere some edge case specialty thing that's used finer, but in any kind of commercial, industrial production sense, 100 singles, the finest yarn you can get for wool, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with. That's why the first mill didn't want to keep doing it, because it's really finicky, it's really fine, it breaks really easily. You have to calibrate your machines really hard, right? So the finer and finer things, especially both cotton and wool, like the finer and finer they get, right? On one end, like the more material you put into the yarn, the more expensive it gets. But then there's this inflection point where you get lighter and lighter, it's cheaper and cheaper. But then when you get to this certain fineness, like it inflects, and the finer and finer you get, the more expensive it gets. So talking about like the finest merino yarns, There are fabrics that are made with 100 singles, 100% merino out there, and they're super like, they don't even disintegrate. They basically don't exist.
They just break immediately.
Yeah, you
Like
like
if
your
you-
thumb can go through. Basically, like there's fabrics where your thumb can like accidentally go
exactly.
through it
Just go right
easily.
through
And I'm not saying this won't ever happen with this fabric, but it doesn't happen in general use with this fabric. And the reason is that it's 25% nylon, right? So 75%, 16.5 micron merino, and then 25% nylon, and it's spun, right? So it's nylon staples. So the nylon's split up into tiny little staples. Here's Tyler like pushing through it. And again, if you put enough force, like this is not the most durable fabric in the world. It's just dramatically more durable than pure merino would be. And in our experience, like when we make shirts with it, it's durable enough. Like it will develop holes over time or whatever, but it can generally, it doesn't have to be babied. When you put it in pants, you kind of have to baby it, and it's still going to fall apart. But I made these as a test, and last winter, here's Tyler wearing them. The reason why I made them is because I overheat when I'm indoors in most merino leggings. Every merino legging I've tried. I've ordered some new ones like last week that haven't shown up, so maybe there's some ones I haven't tried yet that I don't overheat in yet. But when we developed this, like I was like, every single thing out here, like if I wear the leggings, the long johns, whatever, they're great outside, and I get inside and I get way too hot and uncomfortable, and I want to take them off, and that's a pain in the ass, right? You take off your pants and then take off your long johns, and then if you want to go back outside, do it again. And so this worked great. I was like, this is fucking amazing, but is this going to last? And like, sure enough, like it pretty much immediately starts developing holes.
Yours did too?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's why they're called the disintegrators.
I thought we were under promising.
No, it's Tyler trying to give away the game. Yeah, like the fabric's not durable enough, so we're like, okay, it's not durable enough. That was the conclusion. Like I made it, I was like, this is not durable enough. We're not gonna make this. It's done. And then I was like, wait, these are still the fucking best leggings, the only ones I want to wear. So like, we experiment a lot. We'll give you the opportunity to see for yourself how quickly they disintegrate. That's a contest. We'll see how fast they can go. So don't buy them. They're not going to last. They're not durable. There's bad bang for the buck. This is how it is. They're super soft. They're super comfortable. I don't really overheat in them indoors. Your mileage may vary, and then it's going to die, right? So this is a dud. Don't buy it. It might be beautiful, it might be soft, it might be exactly the right warmth for you, but it will not last. And that's what dreams are made of. All right. Let's answer some questions here. There's not that much details, so we should go through the details on it. There's not too much here. There's a really nice, soft, elastic waistband. Then, yeah, it's, I think these were based off of the warm form leggings that we did at one point. I think they were warm form.
Was it? Okay.
But they had a slightly different way. We did switch the waistband slightly. I actually like to fold over the waistband. Not really designed to do it, but it works pretty easily. Just get a lower, higher waist. And they're not like, there's nothing really fancy in here. They're not going to be, there's no elastic in here, so it's not designed to be like skin tight. It'll like bag out a little bit and get loose before it disintegrates. And there you have it. Don't buy it. Where the hell's abrasion areas? So like where the holes? I actually see them actually on the outside a lot. Well, not a lot. I haven't seen tons, but outside where it's rubbing against pants, and then like in the crotch, I think would be a high abrasion area. The butt, yeah. Would these? Yeah, I mean, would they work as trunks? Yeah, they have the same durability issues, and there's no point in trunks. I mean, I guess the softness and the lightness is nice, but like the whole point of this is that they keep you warm outside, right? And the trunks don't. And I guess that also speaks to another thing about the Dreamweight we should talk to. There's something really complicated about the Dreamweight that we've been learning over the years that maybe holds it back a little bit, but it's really interesting. is that, again, we said it's made with like super, not super, 100 single, I think it's super 140 if you're talking super, but 100 single yarns. And so the yarns are super fine, but when you knit them together, they kind of collapse together, and that lets you make a really dense fabric, right? So the real variable in here, like when you're using those fine yarns, is that this fabric is actually super, super thin. Like at this level of thinness, you don't really think about different fabrics being thick or thin. Like obviously denim can be thick, or like velvet or whatever, but once you get thinner than that, you don't really think about the thickness very much. You think about it as a two-dimensional thing, but it's really three-dimensional. So this is like incredibly thin, but it's actually really quite dense. Like, I mean, there's air going through it, so you can see like it's not like totally dense, but it's denser than a lot of structures, right? Like you're putting a lot more yarns in here, and then those yarns are really, really thin, and so that helps trap in heat, right? Because there's literally less holes, right? It's not unbreathable at all. It has pretty decent breathability, but that density actually helps trap in heat, and that's part of what makes it such a good legging. Whereas if you put it into underwear, like just going a little bit heavier, but with a more open structure, which is also an easier fabric to make and cheaper. Like so, your generic, right? Your generic like merino underwear out there, like might be 17.5 with, I'm guessing like maybe 60 singles or 30 singles yarn, and so there's going to be knit like. And then they'll be going to be knit with a higher gauge, right? They'll be knit with a lower gauge, right? So there's less, like the gauge is how many knitting needles there are per inch, right? So the higher the gauge, the more like the denser the fabric. So there'll be, your traditional generic merino will be knit with less needles, less yarns, but the thicker yarn, and that'll give like more holes in the fabric, and so that'll give it like a decent amount of breathability. That works pretty well for underwear, but for long johns, like this density is super nice. What, the intimate blend?
Yeah.
Well, we talked about the blend on the nylon, and it's the intimate blend of nylon and merino.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it. I guess we didn't say intimate blend personally. In a technical term, right? So this is nylon staple, chopped up nylon, 25% nylon, and 75% merino, 16.5 micron merino, and and they're blended together, which is called an intimate blend, right? So you got the nylon staples mixed with the merino staples, twisted all together, form the yarn. Why is Willie North's vest spot clean but this vest hand wash? Probably because of the I don't really know, but I'm guessing it's because of the acrylic on the Willie Norris vest. Nihilistic coming. That's definitely not coming before January. We'll see if it comes in January. We're hoping for it, but it's definitely not. Nihilistic's not coming before January. Nothing. This is it. This is it for the year in terms of new products. There's no new products coming. It's the last set. These two. And then yeah, thank you. Happy holidays. Yep. We'll get to that. And yeah, I guess we're at the end here. It's probably live now. It's 1:08. Damn.
Yeah. Been live.
Been live, been up. And so then, yeah, let's get to the happy holidays and all that. You know the drill. Next week is Christmas on Monday. And then, who knows what comes after Christmas? What the fuck comes after Christmas? I don't know. But yeah, the year's about to end. Happy holidays to everybody. And there's no new products coming, but we might have some not even surprises. I won't even call them surprises. They're not. These are very predictable things like that will occur after Christmas. And that's what we got. Enjoy. We can't make any promises on shipping. Expedited shipping is free right now, but that doesn't mean anything the week before Christmas because shipping is chaos. The warehouse is chaos. Reality is chaos. So, you can buy something, get the free expedited shipping, and hopefully it shows up in good time. But who knows? No promises. You have anything else to say? Anything? No, Tyler?
Yeah, happy holidays.
All right, well, I'll get you on camera for that.
All right, happy holidays.
All right, peace out, everybody. Enjoy the end of the year, and we'll be back soon enough. Peace.